you this morning, but
Okay, there may not be anybody to help you though.
it's supposed to be self-help anyway. I'm just going to show this. There's a couple of things which are about flippering that I want to demonstrate. So as far as feet are concerned, when extending the leg, the toe curls up, comes down, and the foot comes forward. So it's like a caterpillar. But as it comes forward, there comes a point where the caterpillar has to reach the sky and then looks forward for food, and then the heel slides forward. Looking for food, heel slides forward. Looking for food, heel slides forward. Now, we've been doing some work on the thigh coming to the connector point in the pelvis, and this becomes more important as this slides forward, because if I just pull this forward, then you'll see, hopefully, you'll see that my pelvis tilts. So if I just do this, it goes up, and my low back comes off the floor. It's not that you're trying to straighten your low back, it's you're trying to release your low back from the tyranny of habit. So, which includes the connection between the psoas and the lower vertebrae. So this creeping forward and allowing the femur to come into the pelvis means that this only has a tiny amount of tilt as the leg comes forward. And there's a release in there, which should theoretically be quite pleasurable. Bringing it back, it's sending the femur in here. So as it slides back, this always is informing the relationship between the pelvis, the low back, and the sits bones. It is such a fun place to experiment, because eventually when it comes to settle, it will give you clues as to what is held onto in the pelvis and what is released. That's part one of this. Part two is when here, this, you're going to sink into the pelvis here in order to slide the leg. Sinking in here in order to slide the leg. Sinking in here in order to slide the leg. That's fun. And there are two ways of flippering the foot on the back. there's a and there's this way where the heel comes. Is this making sense? Yeah. It's kind of like and there's a different relationship between this and this. Today, we're going to be mostly doing this. Okay, so I'm going to just put this up here. Oh, got someone watching. Good morning. Hope you enjoy. Oh, the was a thumbs up, so clearly the description was clear enough. All the other stuff, I'm going to talk you through. Yeah. Now, today's um, today's exploration is left side, right side. So there's going to be some fun explorations of, to begin with, of the left side and the right side, and then we'll return to that as the procedure goes on. But to begin with, we're just going to sit and settle for a moment. And the normal procedure is that we go down through the system bit by bit, but this morning we're going to use the breath to explore the open and sensorial aspect of one particular side. So, if you can, I'm going to invite you to close one eye. It can be either eye, either left or right. To close that eye so that the other eye is the only one that is perceiving the space around you. And if you find it difficult just to close that eye, then let the open eye side release the hand up. Let that hand unfurl onto the floor. And then you're going to draw a circle with that hand up, over, and above the head. Then bring it down, and then use that hand just to invite the closed eye to close a bit. So you can place it over that eye like an eye patch. And use that to allow the open eye to go for a wander and look around. And as that eye looks around, see if you can also invite the ear to hear out of that side, the nose to smell out of that side, the tongue to taste on that side, on the in-breath, you're going to scan for tension along that side. And then on the out-breath, you're going to release down that side. And then as you take that breath on that side, You're also going to go through the normal contact points that go along that side. So on the in-breath on that side, you're going to bring your mind to the point on the back of the head on that side, the shoulder blade on that side, the elbow on that side, the pelvis on that side, and then the 3 points of the foot on that side. That being the heel, the toe, and the big toe. And keep bringing your mind's eye to the release down that side. That also means the muscles of the face and head. And notice, without judgment or without consternation, notice how the movement of the eye on that side or the taste of the tongue on that side or the response of what you hear or touch. Notice what the pull of that is. And see if you can allow with the breath just to let that melt away. And then on the open side, you're just going to let the hand drift onto the floor. Feel the back of the hand open. So you can feel the fingers grow across the floor like ivy, like tendrils. See if you can allow that whole side of the arm to melt into the floor while you're doing that. And then you can begin to flipper the arm using the back of the hand and the wrist. Flipper the arm up. And at any point when you find that the arm is coming up off the floor, it's going to take a little pause. Once again, breathe. Let the arm melt into the floor. Check the positioning of your shoulder blade for comfort. Where does that want to be? And then continue. Flipper that arm as high as you can. And then as it gets above the head, let the hand begin to slide. You just let it slide right over past the midline. And as your hand drifts down the opposite side, you're going to be conscious of the touch on that side, not the touch on the other side. You're going to draw a big circle all the way around. And then when it gets to the other side, to the side where the back of your hand is on the floor, you're going to draw that big circle all the way around, sliding. And as you slide, you're going to have a mind for what your senses do as the hand and the arm rotates through this circle. So the Leonardo da Vinci picture of the circle going around the man, this is what you're drawing with your conscious arm, and then reverse that circle. You go all the way around with that arm on the other side, with that arm in the other direction. And see if you can clock that non-operative eye wanting to open. And then let the arm just rest with the back of the hand lying down, with the shoulder blade sinking to the floor. And now just going to begin to creep that toe forward on that side. And you're going to be conscious of the femur coming into the socket of the pelvis as you creep that forward. You just see if you can allow the lumbar on that side just remain released. You're looking to release, to lengthen. See if you can imagine the point that's on the books, the top of the head, growing away from the heel, and the point of the pelvis that's in contact with the floor on that side growing away from the back of the head. So there's lengthening going along right the way down that line. And if there's a point where you feel tension changing in the pelvis, there's tilting there, just pause. Breathe into lengthening. And then continue. And when that leg is extended and the arm is lying with the back of the hand flat on the floor or just laying, melting into the floor, it's going to take a moment to also melt the torso into the floor on that side. And you may feel the non-active side wanting to join in. Just going to allow that to breathe that away and just bring your focus back onto your operative side. And then you can begin to creep that foot back in towards your butt. So you're bringing your heel towards your butt again and letting the knee be drawn up to the ceiling, quite happily being drawn up to the ceiling as these two anchor points, the heel and the pelvis, give it permission to release away to the ceiling. Yeah. And then you're going to bring your hand and rest it on your rib cage. And then just let your mind's eye scan the difference between the two sides. Okay, so then you open both eyes for a moment. you're going to begin the same process on the other side. So to begin with, just close the eye on that opposite side, on the side that's just been operative. You're just going to close that eye if you can. And once again, if you're having some difficulty with that, use the operative hand just to cover it for a bit, just so that the closed eye gets the idea of being closed. And have a good look around using the operative eye. And notice the pulls that are associated with looking around with that operative eye. In fact, as you go through the senses, notice what wants to do as a result. You're going to breathe in, of course, recognizing the tension, the things that are being held onto. And then on the breathing out, invite sensitivity on the nervous system on your operative side. What can you smell on that side? What can you taste? What can you hear? What can you sense? What can you sense proprioceptively as well? Run the gamut of the feeling of the skin on that side. Then you're going to let that hand, the back of the hand, just lay down on the floor next to your body. And I am going to suggest that you clock the tensions that are happening in the non-operative side. And then you can begin to flipper the arm up to a position above the head. And there again, just bring your mind's eye to moments where you may have to pause to release. In the flippering of the arm is, in fact, it's a adventure all of itself. We are kind of moving quickly through the flippering of the arm, and eventually it's going to come off the floor, and so you're going to begin this circular movement. And as the hand drifts down that side, see if you can bring your awareness to the sensitivity on that side rather than the stimulus on the non-operative side. Just drawing this big circle all the way around, over the midline, over the other side of your body, down and round. And if you do that adventure in one direction, you're going to reverse and go in the other direction. And as you do these directions all the way around, circling around, always bring your mind's eye to the sensitivity on that side. You can let that arm just relax there by your side with the fingers sinking into the floor, your arm like creeping ivy. And then you can begin the journey of the foot on that side, where it begins to caterpillar, having in your mind's eye the suspension bridge of your leg, so that the femur comes into the pelvis, inviting the pelvis to lengthen away from the back of the head, but also to not necessarily tilt as a response to the leg extending. You're going to bring your mind's eye to the feeling that you have along that side and what you can release. Then you're going to creep that foot back up towards the pelvis. And invite that hand to come and rest on the rib cage. And then bring your mind's eye to both sides of the body. Is that okay if I use my hands? So now we're going to just do one more thing before we do some prone work. I'm going to once again creep one foot forward and on that same side, you're going to let the hand drift down onto the floor. Wow. Wow, your shoulders look great. Has anyone ever said that to you before?
I don't think so. That's a first. It feels good.
So then you're going to creep that hand over the center line above your head. And when that arm is above, just beyond the center line, you're going to drift the extended foot over the center line and see if you can flipper it so that it comes over the foot of the bent leg. And you don't need to force that. It's like a crossed leg, I suppose. Yeah, very nice, James. Yeah. Nice. Mhm. And as Dart would say, see what you can let go of as a result of this movement. Is that okay if I use my hands? You're in a good place. Yeah.
And extending the leg wants to draw the femur away from the hip, though.
Yeah. So that's the hammock of the pelvis is a multifaceted, faceted knot. Wow, that's interesting, isn't it? Hmm. Well, okay, so then you're gonna allow that drift, that arm to drift back to the rib cage. And then you're gonna let that sit nice and easy on the rib, rest there. And then you're gonna bring that leg, fold that leg back up. Bring that knee back up to your butt. Yes. And there again, just clock the difference between the two sides. And so then begin to extend the other leg. And allow that arm on that side to begin to drift. So it's going to slide along the floor or flipper. The great thing about flippering is that you can clock when you have excess tension in the arm. But the great thing about sliding is also the immediate sensation of the voluminous cylindrical nature of the arm and how it rolls into the position above the head. And then you can invite the movement of the extended leg over the bent foot. Or should I say the foot that's sitting on the floor. Oh. So one of the really great aspects of this particular exploration is the release of the psoas, actually. Yeah. James. Yeah, what's that like? Wow. Yeah. How is that?
Wow. Trying to find out
It's all right.
where the space is coming from. Looks like it's releasing all of like really like along its spine.
Yeah, groovy. Yeah, it's nice for this, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so bring that leg back into the body, and so then here, this is going to be some movement that perhaps we don't normally do with Dart. I mean, it's a little bit more movement than usual. What you're going to do is you're going to extend the arm above your head on one side, extend the leg, and then you're going to switch sides. So the knee is going to rise up, the other knee is going to extend, the knee is going to rise up, the other knee is going to extend, and so it's one side reaches across one side, and then one side reaches on the other side. So it's basically repeating the pattern, only doing it a little bit more quickly. So if you have, starting from both hands on chest, then one leg is going to extend and cross over the center line while the hand on the same side goes across the center line. Yep, that's going to extend across the floor. Yeah. So it's basically what we've just been doing, except a little bit quicker. Yeah. That's it. And that leg extends and goes. Yeah, so you extend once to the one side. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, exactly. And that leg is, yeah. And the foot is going to slide across the floor as it. So it's all in contact with the floor, Bo. So that leg, although that looks like fun, but that foot is going to slide across. So basically, it's the thing that you've just been doing, except a little bit quicker. Maybe I should have said it like that. And because of the way that the limbs are going across the center line, you may feel a slight wiggle in the spine. And just uh, let the breath quieten that down a little bit. It's all the time there is this idea that the back of the head is going to be moving away from the tail. It's lengthening away from the tail. So in this movement, whatever it is, the back of the head is moving away from the tail, which brings to mind one of the principles, which is that your core is balance, your periphery is movement. Your core is balance, your periphery is movement. Yes. Well, okay, so we've done that a few times. Now we're going to do a little bit of a roll onto prone, and the way we're going to do this is by extending both feet and crossing the ankles. And if you have your left foot over your right foot, then you'll extend your hands above your head and have your left hand over your right foot. But if you choose the other side, then it can be whichever foot is dominant can be the one that's on top. So if your right hand is over your left, then your right foot is going to be over your left foot. Yeah. So, see, you're talking to someone who's slightly dyslexic and is not sure about the right and left. It can be right hand over right left hand, your right foot over your left hand, or if you want, it can be the other way around, whichever one you want. And then you're going to look towards the armpit of the lowered side, and then you're going to roll towards that direction. And you're going to find your chest following. See if your chest can follow, and then the rest follows. Yes. And then you're going to arrive on your side and feel that length all the way along there. Is that okay if I use my hand, Katie? Yeah. So this is another way of finding that length along that side. Now, if you find this, yeah, okay. This is this is kind of counterintuitive in some ways. So if the idea is a little bit of a struggle, just maintain the idea of the head turning to feed the movement. So once you've wiggled a little bit on that side and felt that side, then you're going to roll back. You're going to look back under the top, and you're going to look back, and you're going to roll back the other way. Yeah. And then you're going to switch hands. So then you begin to look the other way. Beautiful movements. And I'm going to come around, I'm going to do you the favor of moving your book out of the way. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah. Yeah. Key. Follow it with your heart. Follow it with your heart. Yep. Keep looking behind you. Yeah. 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 And after you've rocked a little bit on that side, I'm just going to invite you to come directly onto the face down. And you can bring your hands by your head for a second. You may have to scoot yourself onto to your towel. And just give yourself a moment of breathing so that your chest can settle, your pelvis can settle. And then you're going to open your eye on the left or right side and look to that corresponding side. And then you're going to draw a circle in that same drifting, brushing fashion. So you're going to brush your arm away from the body. Yes, and you can flip definitely. And if you were doing this on your own, then flippering is real fun here. And when it gets down by your side, feel that it's going to have to move up onto your back, yes, and you'll feel that the back of your hand has to come up towards your lumbar. Then it's going to drift up on the inside, under your armpit, and over the back of your head. Beautiful bow, exactly. And draw a kind of truncated circle all the way around. Yeah, so that hand comes up under the armpit, Hal, under the armpit, and then it goes up and over the back of your head. Yeah, as far as you can reach, and then it's going to roll right the way around. Above the head and all the way around. So it's drawing a big old circle. Yeah, that's it. And then it just continues around. Yeah, it's going to keep going around and around that a couple of times, and then you're going to reverse it and go the other way. Yeah. And I'm going to invite your digits, the tendrils of your arm anemone. I invite you to let that sensitivity guide that movement. So it comes, yep. Let's see if it can come all the way down here. Yeah. And then it goes the back. Yeah. So this is the tricky bit, is that. So if it was going to reverse, it would come from there and then come into, yes, there. Yeah. And the other thing to explore is the way the shoulder blade is going to slide with the movement of the arm, because the shoulder blade is the arm. Okay, and then just rest that hand next to your head for a minute, and then you're going to scoot the leg in that flippering fashion that we showed, where it's going to scoot out to the side. So if this is the way it is, then it goes this way, out, this way, out, this way, out, this way, out. And you're just going to let it rest there. Yes, exactly, Katie, yes. And then you're going to flip the hand out so as it's directly, I think the word is perpendicular to your torso. And then you're going to breathe into that position. Yes, oh, that's beautiful. So this is a fun place for you to examine the relationship between the leg and the pelvis and the arm and the shoulder girdle. Also, use the open eye to look along the line of that arm and to have a sensitivity to that side of your body. And whatever thoughts come into your mind in this position, whatever judgments you might have, whatever expectations, just allow yourself to return to sensation. Okay, and then you're just going to flipper that leg back to a median position. What feels median to you? And flipper that hand back to be next to your head. And just have a moment to notice the difference between the two sides. So bring your head back into the middle, I should say. And you can have both eyes closed. And then you're going to open the opposite eye and you're going to look the other way. And see if you can see something that you want to look, or in your mind's eye, see something you want to see. Could be a color, it could be, yeah. Then you're going to follow the same procedure with that arm. So that arm is going to extend and drift along the floor. Going to go exploring. Nice. Yeah, let those fingertips really be sensitive. And let the skin of the arm guide you as well. Then the back of the hand will go up, the smaller the back. And then the back of the hand will drift up the rib cage to under the arm. And then over the back of the head. And it will make a slide of that entire arc all the way around again. And because we're working with sides, we're just going to do that in the opposite direction just once, but also use the noises that are in next door and the noises from the soundtrack also to stimulate your oral or auditory senses as well as the eye on that side, and use the hand to really tell you something about that side of your body. And then you're going to rest that hand next to your head and scoot that leg open using the flippering. And here again, This is not a. It's not a stretch. I'm not going to come around with calipers and measure how far your how far your leg is coming away from the body. You're just going to listen to the relationship of the leg and the pelvis. Mm-hmm.
Is it something where you want it like this or like this?
Yes. So it really is like this. So the foot is going to scoot that way, and that comes that way. Foot is going to scoot that way, comes like that way. Yeah. And then it can just sit in there like that. Yeah. Yeah. And then let the hand extend out perpendicular. And then you're just going to breathe into that space. And so now, you're also going to bring your head to the middle, to the center, and open both eyes. And you're going to allow the other arm to scoot out perpendicular to the body. And you're going to scoot the other leg out just a little bit. Yes, yes. So you're fundamentally making a starfish. And then you're going to allow yourself the delicious luxury of melting into the floor. And you can use the starfish imagery, the way that a starfish sinks into a rock. Or you can imagine that you're making a snow angel. Or you can just allow yourself the idea that you're embracing the planet and that the planet is embracing you. So you can sigh into the floor. So then you're going to bring your legs a little bit closer together. And bring your hands, fold your elbows and bring your hands underneath your shoulder blades. You're going to fold in the pelvis and send the whole of your back up towards the ceiling. Beautiful. Yes. Into a crawling position. Yes. Beautiful. That is really great movement. Yes, indeed. Yes. Full backs. That's great. So now, as you crawl towards the chair, this is what I'm going to invite you to do, is that you're going to close your eye on one side, and the open eye side is going to be the one where the arm moves forward first and the leg moves forward. And then when you've settled on that side, you're then going to open the other eye side and see if you can apply sensation on one side with movement on one side, sensation on the other side, with movement on the other side. Yes, exactly. So the eyes and the ears on one side are open and listening. The sensitivity of the body on that side is open and moving. Yeah. And that goes all the way down to the sensations that you could imagine are going through the skin, through proprioception. Open one side, closed the other, open the other side, close the other. And then gradually coming up and placing. So as you come, put the foot down, you're going to be doing the same thing. You're going to really sense the foot on that side. Yes, beautiful. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So then the senses take you up into vertical, and you can imagine the back of your head on one side, the back of your head on the other. Yeah. And take a couple of steps back. Yeah. Same thing. Yes. And then you can take a few steps forward. And see if you can translate it into both eyes being open as you take the step. But you're still being conscious of the different sides as you walk. Yeah. And then as you begin to walk, as you would normally walk, you're going to introduce the idea of those senses spiraling. So they combine in order to spiral as you walk. Yes, exactly. Oh, nice. Now that looked as if it was easy stepping up there. Was it easy? Yeah. Thanks for joining.